Welcome everyone to the Comic Couch Review. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of Arrow. My name is JamesMan, and today I'm here with Mr. JillyMcBeam.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
X gonna give it to
X gonna give it to you.
you. Really different episode in that I thought this episode was very well written compared to all the rest. Script-wise, I thought this is probably one of the strongest Arrow episodes to date. Action-wise, not so much. I don't even really remember much about the villains, the Strike Force team that was in it. That was completely forgettable. But there are a lot of scenes in this episode that I really like, and they're the scenes I never thought I would like in Arrow, and that being them sitting down and talking. Usually that is the worst part of Arrow, but I thought in this episode it was handled and acted very well. What did you think, Jilly?
I agree on some points. I thought the episode, aside from the action scenes, was actually pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think I made a comment to myself when I was watching it. If Stephen Amell can show emotion like he did when he was in that scene with Lance,
Mm-hmm.
like in every episode, like it would the character Oliver Queen, I think, would be received better. Because most of the time, ML just seems to be kind of like lacking emotion in a lot of his dialogue and a lot of the scenes he's in over the
Mm-hmm.
past few years. And that scene, it was really well done. And he, very directed, well episode. The acting was pretty well done.
Yeah, I agree. It was acting wise a very well done episode. Maybe it was because of the director behind the scenes. I don't know. Just because this is probably I think this is the first episode of Arrow where we have an actual director who has worked on movies before actually direct an episode of Arrow. So maybe that helped a little bit with those more personal scenes. And I thought it worked very well. It worked for the show's advantage in this case, and it's definitely a highlight episode for me, especially this season. And it's saying something because this season has been pretty strong so far. So I really enjoyed this episode. Action though that's what I want to get
Yeah.
into is I don't, I really am struggling to remember most of
All
the
right.
action. I remember
So.
the hallway fight with Laurel and the ending of the last fight, and that was really all there was that I can
Yeah,
remember.
and they had that first one where they are like with Thea and Diggle are like waiting outside the warehouse and they're gonna make a trade and try to get the jump on the cops or whatever,
Okay,
and they get beaten up. And all right, so here's a Jilly rant.
yeah.
Let's look at some of this show's history. All right, Oliver Queen is trained by some awesome Chinese people, Deathstroke himself, Ra's al Ghul, Argus, and whatever the hell we haven't gotten into yet. He went toe to toe with the most deadly assassin
Mhm.
and beat him. Diggle is a special forces unit guy. I mean, we're talking like Navy SEALs, Army Rangers type.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good at what he does. Plus, he's worked with Argus, which is, a highly um, skillful government organization.
Mhm.
Thea is trained by her father, who is a very skillful assassin. Laurel supposedly is supposed to be a good fighter, even though the show she gets the shit beat out of her, and Thea is somehow a better fighter than her, which I don't get because Laurel is trained by the daughter of Ra's al Ghul and Wildcat, I
Mhm.
think, right? Yeah, and so it's like, last season these heroes defeated dozens of the deadliest assassins, and they get beat up by a bunch of cops with toys, and that kind of irks me. Like the continuality or continuity, the word
Continuity.
I'm looking for. Yeah, the continuity of the show is there just sometimes really is a lack of continuity,
Mhm.
and it kind of frustrates me because it's like, well, you know, it's kind of like uh, it's kind of like a video game, like where like one of those video games where you play and you like reach a certain level, but then when you die, you go back to level one. And it seems like sometimes that's what Arrow feels like. It's like, yeah, they build up the previous season and they've defeated they've defeated Deathstroke and the Miracle soldiers and the assassins, and then we go back to the beginning of the next season and they're getting beat by the underlings again.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of like, they're they're supposed to be better than this. I don't know. I mean, they did have the element of surprise on them. They were a anti-vigilant task force, but I mean, when you compare that in retrospect to the League of Shadows, League of Assassins, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
it's just kind of frustrating. That was my biggest thing with the episode, was just kind of like, you know, you have to do bigger and better things.
Yeah, we have to move on from the non-powered types, because it's like they shouldn't be a challenge for these heroes anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, after they've took on the League of Assassins and Deathstroke and his superpowered Mirakuru soldiers.
And I don't and I expand off that, like, and I focus just on a certain character. I don't like what they do with, like, understand with Laurel's character, they're trying to build her up and whatnot, but like, she can barely hold her own in a lot of episodes. And Thea's already a better fighter than she is, and Thea couldn't do anything in season 1, and Laurel's always had a background of some kind of fighting or whatever. And yet, like, Felicity can throw a tablet at an assassin, and,
Kick him in the
knock
shin.
yeah, kick him in the shin, and then there's the, she beat the metahuman with, like, a pipe or whatever, or something like that. It was just kind of like, but then Laurel gets her ass kicked like every episode. It's just kind of like, okay. And like the Black Canary is supposed to actually in the comics usually is a better fighter than Oliver Queen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that is true. It's the fan base, Jelly.
Yeah.
They want Felicity to be the shining hero, even though she never existed in the comic books. And the only reason she existed in the first place was to be a tech person, and then they just moved her up and up and up and up.
I hate fan service so much.
And Jilly's a fan of Supernatural, so that gets a lot of fan service.
Yeah, I love Supernatural, and I love the episodes in Supernatural they do that like make fun of the fan service, but like I ignore the Supernatural fan service because it is ridiculous. But God forbid, like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. You're definitely right about what they've been doing with Laurel. I'm surprised because I thought, by this point she's got her superhero thing going now. Like, she should be an adequate fighter, not being taken down so easily like she has been.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with her. They're still building up her character. I'm fine with her not being the complete form of Black Canary that we're used to seeing, and I still hope in the future that somehow like she has an accident and like she's wearing the Sonic thing and it kind of like melds with her or whatever, and so it becomes a natural ability. I think that'd be cool because I hope they do something like that.
Yeah.
Will they? Probably not, because I never get what I want. But
Yeah, I think.
But yeah,
I
just
if she isn't Black Canary like fully by season 5, I'm gonna throw a fit, because the 5th season is probably gonna be their last season, because that's when they complete the 5-year flashbacks and everything like that. So that's probably gonna be their final season. So I'm like, if I don't get full on Black Canary by then, I'm gonna be a little bit miffed.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, about the final season, if the show's popular still and getting good ratings, they'll milk it for as long as they can.
That's true.
Hashtag Supernatural.
Hashtag Supernatural. It is a CW, so you could be right. Remember Smallville?
But yeah, you can obviously tell like some characters get the shaft because of fan service, and they're more prominent characters on a comic book level. So
yeah, they're not exactly trying to appease the comic book fans.
Needless to say, I hope that Gravestone is Felicity.
Yeah. We said that for a while. We really hope it's her.
I think everyone in the Comic Couch review section will agree with that.
Yeah. Please.
Please be Felicity.
God, I know I don't pray to you much, but please have them kill this character.
As you can tell, we don't like Felicity.
No, not at all.
But it's just an opinion, guys,
yeah,
so don't get butthurt about it.
Yeah.
All right, it's just an opinion. If you like it, well, hey, we know you're wrong, but still.
Okay.
That's a joke.
In case you can't tell. Yeah, this is... Yeah, I get what you mean, and I think it's just a part of this whole episode with... It highlights kind of the worst action aspects of the show, and the fact that this episode had really forgettable action, and I'm not a fan of that at all. Because I think it
Yeah.
needs to be well balanced. Like, I need to have good
Hmm.
action and good character development. When I don't
But
get good action and I don't get good character development, that's when I get a little pissed. Here, I just had bad action.
yeah.
Because there was some really good character development with Oliver and Lance's character. I really like those scenes, and even like the scene with him when he's about to shoot Sarah. You know,
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good scene, and it was well
I
directed.
Yeah, this is like one of the first times all season that I've actually liked Detective Lance's character.
Hmm
Actually, in
I
the past
remember before the
season.
episode started, we were kind of talking shit about Lance's character because we're like, it's just the same thing over and over again with this character. You know,
Yeah.
so it was nice to see like kind of a change up where not really change up I should say, just more added to his character instead of I'm the pissed off cop guy. I'm the lieutenant of the police department. I'm just gonna be pissed at Oliver.
Hmm. I really do hope, and moving forward, I really do hope that they kind of start exploring Damien Dark a little bit more.
Yes.
Kind of, it's obviously now it's kind of like he's mysterious, and we're building up to it.
Yeah,
They
we're still
will get,
early
you know,
into the season, so
yeah. I mean, they're gonna reveal something halfway through, like at the fall season or the fall finale or whatever.
yeah.
Most likely, then that's usually how TV shows go. Um, because I really like Damien Dark's character really intrigues me,
Mm.
and he might like the way they're building him up. I like him more than any other Arrow villain,
Really?
main
Okay.
villain. Yes.
I like him more
Um,
than Ra's al Ghul. I wouldn't say Deathstroke quite yet, so because
but
Ra's
then
got like no development.
yeah. Um, well, yeah, maybe not more than Deathstroke because they had, a lot of development. They had like a season and a half
Yeah.
worth of development because
Mhm.
Manu Bennett was a prominent character in the flashbacks in season one and whatnot, and so
I think with his character,
um,
they had more of an arc going.
yeah, I,
And
I
here with
really
Damien
really
Dark,
like
we don't know enough yet, so
yeah I really like Damien Dark's character. Kind of getting tired of the whole we only see him when someone complains to him or asks him for help kind
Mhm.
of thing. I want to see him do something besides.
like in the
he
first
did,
episode, I want to
yeah,
see
in the
more of
first
him in his
episode.
like his dojo or whatever, praying to
'Cause
his devil god or whatever.
it's kind of the classic. I'm gonna sit behind and let my minions do something. They always fail, so I
Mhm.
finally have to get involved.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Mhm.
The classic supervillain trope.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
I just want to see him get involved more. I like the whole mysterious, like he was like we found out he was once an assassin with the
yes.
League of Shadows.
So he's definitely strong, definitely powerful. Like
Yeah, and he's
not even
magic.
magically, physically, he's powerful too. So
Yeah, like he's so obviously he's I'm interested to see if they kind of explore that because Constantine's going to be on the next episode.
woo!
Yeah. And like he's magical and he is in that. I wonder if like the realms kind of coincide and if they'll make references and how maybe they're similar and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see like Damien Dark as kind of like the villain Doctor Strange
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
in a sense. Um, Not trying to take any away from Doctor Strange or Damien Dark or anything like that, but that's the comparison I get. He's kind of like the magical bad guy.
Yeah, he's the evil
Um,
magician.
Yeah, evil magician, and that's what this season seems to kind of be going towards, which I like.
It's kind of weird that I'm like, you know what? Arrow needed an evil magician because after I've had two evil assassins in a row, I need something different.
Yeah, it's well, three evil assassins. Really.
Oh yeah, because of Merlin from the first season. So yeah, three. So, bring in the evil magician.
Yeah. Then that was yeah. I was gonna say.
You're building up there. Kind of piddled off there. It's all right. Yeah,
But it was a good episode.
Yeah, definitely. It was a highlight for me. I really enjoyed this episode. Hope to see more of this kind of quality. I mean, I doubt I
Probably not.
will, because yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
oh well. But still a great episode. A good landmark of the series so far, I think. Any last words on the episode before we sign off?
I think that's everything.
All right. Well, then we will see you guys for the next review. We're going to talk about the next week's episode of Arrow. You better watch it, okay? Watch it. I want those ratings to spike up to like 4 to 5 million, so that way CW will get off of their fat asses and renew Constantine. God damn it, do this for me, guys. I
Needs to
love
happen.
Constantine. Make it happen, please.
I'm looking forward to it. I think Matt Ryan's Constantine is perfect.
Yes, this is absolutely perfect. When I saw the little promo for the next week's episode, I got giddy. I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm so excited
Yeah.
to see his character come back. And you know, it feels like the Constantine from the television show, exactly from NBC show. So I'm excited as shit to see his character return, and hopefully, you know, it'll do well ratings wise enough that it'll convince CW to either include him more or have a whole series, please. So, I'm very excited for next week's episode. I can't wait to talk about it because I am pretty sure it'll be good just because we have that added element with Constantine's character. So can't wait to talk about it, guys. We hope to see you guys there for the review. Till next time, everyone. Take care.
Later.